accident hour of smiles with your old softy, Bert Healy. A moment of tears.
Say something.
Thank you, Bert Healy.
But still remember, folks.
Smile, darn ya, smile.
Right, Wacky. Smile, darn you, smile. Say, Wacky, who's that who just walked into our WEAF studio?
Why, it's none other than the wealthy industrialist and Wall Street tycoon, Oliver Warbucks.
Now, Oliver Warbucks, I understand that you have something to tell the folks at home about our wonderful little Annie here.
Yes, good evening, Bert Healy. Annie is an 11-year-old foundling who was left by her parents on the steps of the New York Municipal Orphanage on the night of December 31st, 1922.
And aren't you now conducting a coast-to-coast nationwide search for Annie's parents?
Yes, I am now conducting a nationwide coast-to-coast search for Annie's parents. Drop page. And furthermore, I am offering a $50,000 certified check to anyone who can prove they are Annie's parents.
Wow.
Wow! So Annie's parents, if you're listening in, write to Oliver Warbucks, care of this station, WEAF, or directly to him at his home.
At my home, 987 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York.
That's 987 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York.
I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the makers of all-new Oxidant toothpaste with Miracle L64 to fight bad breath for allowing me to appear here.
And I just gave a damn commercial. Grace, I have never endorsed a product in my life.
Good night. Good night, Oliver Warbucks. Thanks for dropping by, Oliver Warbucks. So, Annie's parents, if you're listening in, there's $50,000 and a wonderful daughter just waiting for you. So get in touch right away here.
Say, Mr. Healy, isn't it time once again for the lovely Boylan sisters?
It most certainly is, Wacky. Well, I can see by the old clock on the wall that another of our Saturday night get-togethers has gone by faster than you can say accident. Toothpaste of the stars.
To make your teeth Hollywood bright.
So for all the Hour of Smiles family, Ronnie, Bonnie, and counting the lovely Boylan sisters, Fred McCracken,
And Wacky.
And Jimmy Johnson, radio's only master.
this is Bert Healy saying, ha ha ha! Hey, ho, man, hey, dapper Dan, you both got your style, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Your clothes may go grumbly, they stand out a mile, but brother, you're never fully dressed without a smile. Who cares what they're wearing on Main Street or Savile Row? It's what you wear from ear to ear, not from head to toe. That matters. So Canada, so Canada, so long for love. Remember, you're never fully dressed without a smile.
Ready or not, here he goes. Listen to Bert tap his smiling toes.
Ah, the lovely Boylan sisters.
know, they'll be making a musical about him. All right, bed. A $50,000 reward? Oh, what I couldn't do with a $50,000 reward. Oh, I hate that kid so much. Sometimes I think I could be Annie's mother.
Excuse us, ma'am. We knocked, but nobody answered. Are you the lady that runs this here orphanage?
Yeah.
Oh, Ralph, I'm scared. What if something happened to her?
Hush, Shirley. It's gonna be all right, Cheryl. She's gonna be here, and she's gonna be ours again. Ma'am?
What do you want?
Well, we had terrible troubles back then. We had to head north to Canada. Had to leave a baby here on the front stoop.
Our little girl, our Annie.
Annie? You're Annie's parents?
Please, miss, nothing's happened to her.
Where'd you say you come from again?
Oh, we come from a little farm up in Canada,
Manitoba.
where they've got lots of chickens,
Little chickens.
and ducks,
Ducks.
and geese,
Oh, you should see all the geese.
and roosters.
Oh,
Gotcha, sis!
Rooster, well, I wouldn't have known you in a million years.
Fooled you, Aggie, and we're gonna fool Warbucks, too.
Get ourselves 50,000 big ones.
This is gonna be the best bunco job ever, Aggie. I know a guy out of jail who can doctor up a fake birth certificate or any other papers you want. But we need your help, sis, for details about Annie that can help us pull this thing off.
Well, I suppose I could help a lot. What's in it for me, Ralph?
Three-way split, Aggie.
Half.
Half?
Half.
Half, half, half. Straight down the middle. 25 grand each. But we gotta do it fast, Aggie. Give him some of the old rooster. Razzle-dazzle. In and out. 2-3 minutes at the most. Get the money, get the kid, and get the hell out of town.
Yeah, Annie, that's the problem. What do we do with her afterwards?
Aggie, that's no problem.
When the rooster wants something to disappear, it disappears.
For good.
A rooster, no.
Oh, come on, Aggie. We get the 50 grand. We blow this crummy town, and Lil and me'll meet you.
Where? Oh, yeah.
Easy street, easy street, and is the key. Yeah, easy street, that's where we're gonna be.
And President Roosevelt has so far lived up to none of his lofty campaign promises. All we've had from Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his so-called brain trust
Brain trust?
is a great deal of iPhone talk and virtually no action. In a nation racked by poverty, misery, and unemployment, it is deeds we want from the White House, not words. In short, Mr. President, if you are listening, we've had enough of your fireside chats. It is time to...
Criticism, damn it. Nothing but criticism. Damn it.
I know.
It's awful.
Did anyone see the Washington Post this morning?
My friends, I say again,
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Franklin, you've already been elected.
Every cloud has a silver lining. You're never fully dressed without a smile.
Pickle shoe.
Oliver, Warbucks, and friend, Franklin.
Thank you, Louis. Show them in.
Oliver?
Oliver, good of you to have come.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Well, who is this we have here?
Mr. President, this is my good friend Annie.
Annie!
She so wanted to meet you that I couldn't help resist bringing her along, just to say hello.
Of course, the little girl who sang so beautifully on the radio last night.
Annie, this is President Roosevelt.
How do you do, President Roosevelt?
How do you do, Annie? You're as lovely as you sounded on the radio.
Thank you, President Roosevelt.
Well, shall we begin?
Annie, if you'll just step outside.
No, Oliver, let her stay. Having a child on hand will keep us all on our best behavior.
Thank you, Mr. President. Annie?
Harold, I don't want to hear even so much as a gosh out of you.
Franklin, a child?
Now, Oliver, since you speak for those happy few Americans who have any money left, I'd like to begin with your views on matters.
Mr. President, as Calvin Coolidge said, the business of this country is business. Yes. And for the good of you, the country, Wall Street, and me, we've got to get my workers back to work and my factories open.
According to my latest figures, there are now 15 million Americans out of work and nearly 50 million with no visible means of support.
Mr. President, if I may say so, unemployment is not our worst problem. The dispatches from Germany are becoming more and more disturbing each day. There could be a war.
Germany? Hell, there are people starving in this country.
Harold, I know that, but in the long run, we're not
Cordell, for people who are starving, there is no long run.
The trouble is, it's all happening at once. The stock market has taken another nosedive.
Sit-down strikes, riots.
Floods, dust storms.
And the FBI still hasn't caught Al Capone. Well, at least we're all agreed on one thing. The situation is hopeless and getting worse.
Francis, I'd like to take a look at those figures.
The sun will come out tomorrow. That's your bottom dollar, that's my
Quiet, little girl.
Harold. What did you say, Annie? No, that's okay. Go ahead, my dear. It's still a free country.
Just thinking about tomorrow. Clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow. Till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick in my chin and grin and say,
Harold Ickies, stand up.
What?
You heard me, Harold. Stand up. Up, up, up. Now, Harold, sing.
What?
Sing, like Annie. I've just decided that if my administration is going to be anything, it's going to be optimistic about the future of this country. Now, sing.
But Franklin, really, you know that I don't...
Sing, Harold.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
Louder,
Bet your bottom
Harold.
dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun.
Perkins.
Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none.
So low for the president when I'm
stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, everyone, Republicans to Oliver, sing!
The sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're always a
Harold!
A telegram, Mr. President.
Ah, yes. Excuse me, everyone. This isn't for me, it's for you, Oliver, from your secretary in New York. Hundreds of couples jamming street outside house, all claiming to be Annie's parents, have begun to screen them. Suggest you return to New York at once. Signed, Grace Farrell.
Well, it looks as though there were more listeners to the Hour of Smiles than we thought, huh, Annie?
Gee, hundreds of couples. One of them is bound to be my mother and father.
Well, Oliver, I suspect you'll be getting back to New York immediately.
Yes, if you don't mind, Mr. President. Annie?
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Annie.
Goodbye, Mr. President, and thank you.
No, thank you, Annie. You're the type of person a president should have around him.
Mr. President, why don't we set up 100, no, 1,000 federal projects?
Dams.
Yes.
Highways.
Yes.
New post office.
Yes, and we'll put the unemployed to work building them.
We could create 5 million new jobs within 6 months.
And weekly paychecks will get all those millions off relief and back to paying taxes.
We'll build a country so strong that nobody, including Chancellor Hitler, could ever defeat us in war.
Mr. President, what we've got to give this country is nothing less than a new outlook.
A new vision.
A new approach.
A new concept.
A new dedication.
A new horizon.
A new spirit. A new attitude.
A new deal. Perkins, gentlemen, I was right the first time. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow. You're only a day away. Harmony.
Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day
and 619 men who say they were her father. That makes
1,236.
all liars. Drake, I never knew there were so many dishonest people on the island of Manhattan.
Some of them were from the Bronx, miss.
Grace, we're back!
I'm sorry, but they were all fakes and liars after nothing but the $50,000.
Are you certain?
Yes, sir. None of them knew about the locket. I'm so sorry, Annie.
Gee, I thought for sure one of them was going to be my mother and father.
This just came by special messenger from the FBI.
Ah, finally! Elliot Ness has located the manufacturer of Annie's locket in Utica, New York.
Oh, boy!
That sort of locket was manufactured between 1918 and 1924.
Sort of locket?
Yes. Over 90,000 were made and sold.
90,000.
I'm afraid the gist of it is that Elliot Ness doesn't think that there's a chance in a million of tracing your parents through that locket. I'm sorry, Annie.
Gee, that's okay. I mean, you tried your best. If you can't find them, nobody can. Anyway, I guess a king can get along without folks. I mean, you didn't turn out bad. You got everything, other than Duesenberg's hanging on the wall and everything.
Excuse us, sir. We'll go check on the dinner menu.
Annie, a Duesenberg is a car. Babe Ruth is a right fielder for the New York Yankees. And there's something else you should know.
I've made me a fortune, that fortune made 10, and headlined and profiled again and again. But something was missing, I never quite knew. That something was someone but who. My speeches are greeted with thunderous acclaim at 2 universities bearing my name. But something was missing each time I got through. That something was someone but who? Who could that someone be? How could she make it known? Who could need me for me, need me for me alone? The world was my oyster, but where was the pearl? Who knew I would find it in one little girl? Yes, something was missing, but dreams do come true. That something was no one but you. Not bad for an old man. The world was my oyster, but where was the pearl? Who dreamed I would find it in one little girl? Yes, something was missing, but dreams can come true. That something was no one but you.
Grace!
Yes, sir.
Do you still have those legal papers I gave you the other day?
Yes, sir. I'll get them right away.
No, wait. I want you to stay for a moment, Grace. I J.P. Morgan went bust. Annie, sit down. Annie, I want to adopt you.
Adopt me?
Yes or no?
Well, I guess if I can't have my real mother and father, then there's no one in the world I'd rather have of a father than you.
Great! Yes, sir. Call Justice Brandike and ask him to come over here and sign those adoption papers.
Yes, sir.
No, it'll be after their bedtime time. Grace, tell Mrs. Pugh there'll be a house full of guests. We'll need flowers.
Flowers.
And caviar.
Caviar.
And champagne.
Champagne. I'm fine.
Now, what about those kids? Well, the problem is it's going to be well past their bedtime. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll invite them over, and everyone from the orphanage, for tomorrow for a big Christmas party.
Miss Hannigan too?
Miss Hannigan too. Why not? Great, Drake.
Yes, sir.
Tell the staff to get spiffed up. They're going to be the guests at Annie's adoption party.
Yes, sir.
Drake,
Yes, sir.
how's the staff doing?
Well, the staff, and these are your words, sir, they are getting spiffed up for the party.
Ah, good. I think Annie and I should get spiffed up too. Grace,
Yes, sir.
have Cecile put Annie into. Grace, that's a very lovely dress.
Why, thank you, sir.
Have Cecile put Annie into one of her new dresses, and have Annette do something with her hair. I don't know, take her upstairs and gussy her up.
Yes, sir.
Gussy her up, gussy her up, gussy her up, gussy her up.
Annie, 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 everything's on me now. Good times are coming now, since you came our way. It's Christmas, Christmas every day. We dismiss bad times, sad times. Now there are yesterday's news. Annie kicked out the blues. Black and feathers, camellias and money. We've got Annie, look what you've done for us. Big promoters, got Betsy and Tiny. We've got Annie, turn on the fun for us. Goodman's got swing.
Annie's the king.
By far, by far, by far. Martha's got Jeff and Eleanor FDR.
Judge Brandeis has arrived.
Judge Brandeis. Annie, Annie, you filled our life with a song.
Stop! Welcome to the happiest night of my life. Annie, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
I'm the luckiest kid.
Together at last, together forever. We're tying a knot they never can sever. I don't need sunshine now to turn my skies to blue. I don't need anything but you. You wrap me around that cute little finger. You made life a song. You made me the singer.
And what's that bathtub tune you always ba-ba-boo?
Ba ba ba, anything but you.
Yesterday was clean awful.
Awful.
You can say that again.
Again.
Yesterday was clean awful.
But richer than Midas.
But nothing on earth
Can ever divide us. And if tomorrow I'm an apple seller too, I won't be anything but you.
Hamlet needed his mother.
Woe needed his shop. Otto needed his brother.
Or else he'd go
Kerplop.
into mankind. The happiest pair now, like Fred and Adele. They're floating on air now. And what's the title of this dream that just came true? I don't need anything. Anything. I don't need anything but
Now, Oliver, Annie, we're ready to begin. The adoption procedure is really quite simple. According to the laws of the state of New York.
Sir.
What?
Sir. Excuse us, folks, but we don't mean to interrupt. Shirley, look, there's our Annie.
Who are you?
Oh, honey, we're your mom and dad.
Wow. Mudge. Mudge is the name. Ralph Mudge, and this here's the wife, Shirley.
You never knew it, dear, but you're Annie Mudge.
Annie Mudge?
We was sick and broke, honey, and didn't know which way to turn, and a man gave us a chance to work on his farm up in Canada.
But we couldn't bring along no baby.
Oh, we loved you, Annie, but we had to leave you behind.
Mr. Mudge, is it? We've seen a great number of people who have...
Proof? I expect you'll be wanting proof of who we are. There's Annie's birth certificate and our driver's licenses.
Baby girl, name Anne Elizabeth Mudge, born to Ralph and Shirley Mudge, New York, New York, October 28, 1922.
October 28th.
Yes, I know, but I still don't...
Mister, please, you gotta believe us. We came in on the Greyhound this afternoon and went straight to the orphanage to fetch our Annie. And the lady there said our baby was up here.
Oh, Annie, all these years I've dreamed of holding you in my arms again.
Mr. Mudge, on the night that Annie was left at the
Oh,
orphanage.
here's something you wouldn't know about. But when we left Annie at the orphanage, we left half a silver locket with her and kept the other half. So as one day...
Look, she's still wearing it.
Oh, God, yes. And here's the part we kept. It fits perfectly.
Oh, thank God, she's our Annie.
She is. She is.
She seems to be.
Well, if you'll get Annie's things together, we'll
Just a
take you
moment,
along.
Mr. Mudge. What about the money?
Money? Well, we ain't got much, but we'll be glad to give you
You
whatever.
haven't heard that I'm offering a $50,000 certified check to anyone who can prove that they're Annie's parents?
No, sir. We don't know nothing about no check. Anyway, we don't want no money.
Right. We don't want no money for Annie.
On the other hand, Cheryl, remember that little pig farm in New Jersey? With $50,000, we could buy it. We could afford to bring Annie up right in the country. With fresh air, fresh eggs,
Fresh ham.
fresh air. Certified, huh? All I gotta do is make it out to myself?
That's right. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning?
You don't mind if Annie spends the night here until Christmas? Then you can pick her up. And the check.
Oh.
Oh.
Problem?
No. Whatever you prefer, sir. I think we should be getting back to the hotel now. Goodbye, Annie. Until tomorrow morning, honey. And then you'll be spending the rest of your life with us.
Goodbye, Annie. Here.
Well, goodbye, all. Oops. Pardon me, Blondie. Merry Christmas.
Season's greetings, one and all.
Well, this is wonderful news.
I agree.
Annie has found her parents, and they seem like a very nice couple.
You're very lucky, Annie.
Right, lucky. Just think, a pig farm.
Mrs. Greer.
Yes, sir.
Champagne. We must celebrate, because tonight is New Year's Eve, and we have the most wonderful news in the world. Annie has found her mother and father. Everyone, I propose a toast. To Annie Mudge.
To Annie Mudge. Annie? Oh, Annie.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah, right.
Seem to have the same effect on everyone.
I've lost her. I've lost Annie.
Sir, that Mr. Mudge, I know I've seen him somewhere before, but I can't think where or when. I have the strangest feeling he's not who he says he is.
Mr. President,
Franklin.
Franklin, I need your help.
Of course, Oliver. Whatever I can do for you.
Silly to cry, nothing to fear.
Grace. I never could have... Merry Christmas, Annie.
Merry Christmas, Annie.
Merry Christmas.
You're up early.
Yes, well, I thought I might as well wait for my parents here. You're up early too.
We haven't been asleep all night, dear. FBI man coming and going. Did you know that President Roosevelt is here?
Really?
I have something difficult to tell you, Annie, and the President is going to help me tell it to you.
Merry Christmas, Annie. It's good to see you again.
Merry Christmas, President Roosevelt.
Franklin?
Annie, early this morning, FBI Director Hoover telephoned me with some very sad news. Through the paper and handwriting on your note, he succeeded in tracing the identity of your parents.
Yes, we know. Mr. and Mrs. Mudge.
No, dear. Those are not your parents. Your parents were David and Margaret Bennett.
David and Margaret Bennett? Well, where are they?
Annie.
Annie, your mother and father passed away a long time ago.
You mean they're dead?
Yes, dear.
So I'm an orphan like the other kids.
Are you all right, Annie?
Yes, I'm all right. Because I guess I always knew my parents were dead. Because I knew they loved me. And they were coming back for me if they weren't.
I love you, Annie Bennett.
And I love you too. Now, who the heck are Ralph and Shirley Mudge?
Atta girl! Who the heck are Ralph and Shirley Mudge?
Well, the birth certificate could have easily been forged. The thing is, they knew about the locket.
The locket, that's your key.
But no one knew about the locket except us. And the FBI, of course.
And Miss Hannigan.
And Miss Hannigan.
And Miss Hannigan.
Miss Hannigan, sir, and the children from the orphanage.
Hello, Miss Hannigan. Delighted to meet you.
Oh, Mr. Warbucks, pleasure. I've been looking forward to this. You are Oliver Warbucks, aren't you?
Yes, Miss Hannigan. Allow me to introduce everyone. You know Miss Farrell, my secretary, of course.
Yeah.
And this is the President of the United States. And this is Drake, my butler.
Hi, kids! Annie! Look, kids! There's Christmas presents for all of us! Yay! Oh, my goodness!
Sir, this just came from the FBI.
Comes the dawn. All the pieces fit at last.
Annie, come look at this.
Leaping lizards! Who would have thought it?
Show it to the President.
Sir, Mr. and Mrs. Mudge.
Show them in, Drake.
With pleasure, sir.
Franklin, should I have your car called?
No, Eleanor can wait.
Right this way, Mr. and Mrs. Mudge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Merry Christmas, one and all.
Merry Christmas.
Merry, 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 merry.
Thank you, Drake.
Christmas. There she is, Sharon, our little girl.
Your little girl.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Hello, dear.
Well, we don't want to bother you on Christmas and all. We just come to pick up Annie. Her suitcase?
Allow me.
And oh, the check.
Oh, yes, the check. I almost forgot. $50,000. Certified.
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 Paid to the order of Ralph Mudge.
Read it again.
Paid to the order of the jig is up.
That's right. The jig is up. Daniel Francis Hannigan, also known as...
Rooster Hannigan, also known as Ralph Mudge, also known as Danny the Dip.
Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Franklin, I believe that fraud is a federal offense, and your Secret Service men have the power to arrest.
Yes, Oliver, they certainly do. Drake?
Yes, sir.
Won't you turn them over?
Yes.
Deck the halls with bells of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
Solo for Warbucks, and you'll find this woman's their accomplice. Fa la 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 la. Arrest her too, please.
Oh, no, I never seen them before today.
Come off it, Aggie.
Yeah, sis. If Lil and me is taking a fall, so are you.
Oh, now, Mr. Warbucks, Oliver, what have I ever done?
The jig is up.
Annie, oh, Annie, tell them how nice I always was to you at the orphanage.
I'd like to do that, Miss Hannigan, but don't you remember the one thing you always taught me? Never tell a lie.
You rotten brat, you little gold digger, I never liked you. And I never liked you either.
You! Your days are numbered!
Oh, let me at her, let me at her, let me at her.
Annie, we'd like to meet your friends.
Okay, kids, this is Miss Farrell.
Hi, kids.
And this is Mr. Daddy Warbucks. Hello.
Hi, kids.
Oh yeah, and this is the President of the United States.
Hi, kids.
Children, Miss Hannigan is gone forever.
Yay!
And you won't have to work anymore.
Yay!
Instead, you'll have classrooms and teachers.
Yay! Oh, but listen, kids, no more mush.
No more mush! 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 No more mush!
No.
Yes, girls? For you, and possibly for all of us, this Christmas could be the start of a wonderful new life. I know the depression's depressing,
The carols are stilled, the stores aren't filled,
and windows are minus their dressing.
the children don't grin, the Santas are thin.
And I've heard a terrible rumor, no goodwill, no cheer, but we're getting a new deal for Christmas this year.
The snowflakes are frightened of falling,
And no wild things, no peppermint sticks.
And all through the land folks are bawling,
And filled with despair, 'cause cupboards are bare.
but Santa's got brand new assistants. There's nothing to fear. We're getting a new deal for Christmas this year.